My dear British native friends, that young teenager from Scotland brandishing fiercely a hatchet and a butcher's knife clearly demonstrates the state of profound insecurity which the native populations of Britain and Scotland are actually facing. It is high time that the resistance organizes and gives itself the means that the government is evidently no longer able to provide to the English and Scottish populations. I firmly believe that the reaction of the natives must be swift, powerful, and unequivocal. Don't wait to be further overwhelmed by this wild invasion of Muslim immigrants. It is now undeniable that the majority of them have not learned etiquette and good manners, especially towards women. It is irrefutable that many of them are convicted criminals or potential criminals, and I am speaking here of the commission of felonies, particularly against the person. Therefore, you must take the necessary steps to defend yourself and protect your children and wives at all costs. But let us return briefly to this young Scottish woman brandishing a cutlass and hatchet in view of potential aggressors. Undoubtedly, immigrants, according to the voices, when I look at the video, those were immigrants she was shouting to. What rights does this young teenager has? And the crucial question could certainly be the following. Does she have the right to carry and to use such weapons in order to defend herself? Before answering such a serious question, we must place ourselves in the context that has been prevailing for too many years in Great Britain and Scotland. A deep insecurity caused essentially by mass immigration from countries such as Somalia, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, and other Muslim countries. It is by no means a coincidence if this young girl brandishes with fierce hatred a cutlass. It is probably the result of an exasperation caused by previous events, especially in her dealings with male Muslims. This context of insecurity is found throughout Great Britain and Scotland. Furthermore, the rapes of young women and indecent assaults appear to be on the rise in Great Britain. The statistic for sexual violence on the rise, more particularly in Great Britain, can easily be verified on internet. In Canadian law, anyone who is attacked may use necessary force to repel the aggression. We are talking about self-defense. I think that if this young lady is the subject of sexual assault by anyone, she would be well-founded in brandishing her cutlass, at least in view of the aggressor. If the assault continues, she can and indeed she must use her weapon to defend herself. And as everything happens rather quickly in such circumstances, I don't think a court could hold it against her. The jurisprudence has clearly established through the years that in self-defense, each case must be assessed on its merits. Note the behavior of the young teenager in the video. Her summons to her interlocutors constitutes in itself a real warning not to approach her, otherwise she will use her weapons. On the other hand, it is important that she does not stir up the debate. She must try to step away from the conflict. She must avoid it as much as possible. So she must not become the aggressor. Let's add that she is probably not allowed to carry such weapon with her. However, if she has to use them, the court might possibly hear evidence of subjective fear of that girl that she will have to demonstrate predominantly and possibly add more objective elements to it, as the climate of insecurity generated by a large presence of Muslims in a region with questionable morals. the attitude of said Muslims toward her, past encounters, some provisions of the Sharia, the rise in sexual violence against women in the country, etc. Do you have to wait for the government to react before creating your own militia? My answer is undoubtedly no. No, because the threat is real, and the safety, even the lives of your loved ones are at stake. Given the current climate in Britain, there is no doubt that I would pay a visit to the gunsmith of my region in order to properly polish my defense arsenal. I did say defense. The creation of civilian militias constitutes, in my opinion, a necessity in order to patrol the most at-risk sectors by demonstrating a real and vigilant presence, like those guardian angels who patrolled the New York subway a few decades ago. Have a great day.